Bray Wyatt, dead WWE star and third-generation wrestler, unexpectedly dies at age 36. The news was broken on Twitter by Rotunda's employer, Paul Triple H Levesque, who says he received the news from Rotunda's father. Several current and former wrestling stars shared their shock over the news on social media and praised Wyatt for his career accomplishments and for being fun to work with. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson mentioned that he has always admired and cared for Wyatt and his family. He also felt sad about Terry Funk's passing. Johnson, Wyatt, and John Cena had a part in WrestleMania 32 together. Johnson also shared, "Bray was a one-of-a-kind, interesting, and uncommon character, which is not easy to make in the chaotic world of pro wrestling. It's hard to believe we lost Terry Funk yesterday and now Bray today. I'm sending my love, positivity, and strength to the Rotunda and Funk families during this difficult and heartbreaking time." Bliss, who was with Wyatt during his The Fiend persona and his WrestleMania 37 match, said she was extremely heartbroken to learn of his death. She has said, "What I can say is what an amazing human being Wyndham is. Amazing friend and one of the most creative minds to ever walk this earth." And many wrestlers, both current and former, took to social media to express their shock about the news. Bray Wyatt, whose real name is Wyndham Rotunda, had a lengthy tenure in WWE spanning from 2009 to 2021 before his initial release. However, he made a highly anticipated comeback to the company about a year later, creating quite a buzz. This return happened at the Extreme Rules special live event. During this period, he embarked on a captivating storyline centered around a character named Uncle Howdy, which was actually portrayed by his own brother, Bo Dallas, a former WWE star. This intricate narrative drew considerable attention and engagement from the audience. Nevertheless, it appears that this storyline took an unexpected turn after Bray Wyatt's match with LA Knight at the 2023 Royal Rumble. Following this event, Rotunda initiated a rivalry with Bobby Lashley in the build-up to WrestleMania 39. Unfortunately, his journey in the wrestling world faced a sudden setback. He was taken off television due to an undisclosed illness, one that later emerged as a significant threat not only to his wrestling career but also to his life. Up until the recent heartbreaking news, there seemed to be a positive shift in Rotunda's condition. As recently as August 10, various wrestling media outlets were reporting that Bray Wyatt was on the road to recovery and moving closer to receiving medical clearance for a return to the ring. The hope was that he had overcome the worst of the challenges he faced. Wyndham Rotunda's journey in the spotlight of WWE commenced in 2010, marking the initiation of his televised wrestling career. His first appearance was on the original version of NXT, where he adopted the persona of Husky Harris. This was during the second season of the show's initial format that revolved around a reality show concept. As Husky Harris, he found himself aligned with the antagonistic group known as the Nexus upon reaching the main roster. However, this chapter of his career took a turn, and he was taken off television, ultimately being sent back to WWE's developmental territory known as Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW, in 2011. A transformation awaited Rotunda in FCW. He was reintroduced to the audience in 2012 as the enigmatic and eerie character Bray Wyatt. This marked a pivotal moment, coinciding with the transformation of WWE NXT into a significant platform after it essentially replaced FCW. Within this reborn arena, Bray Wyatt emerged as a central figure, capturing the audience's fascination. Alongside his comrades Eric Rowan and the late Luke Harper, collectively known as the Wyatt family, he became one of the most captivating acts on the show. This intriguing phase propelled him back to the main roster, where his career would experience a series of peaks and valleys. Rotunda demonstrated a remarkable propensity for self-reinvention, a trait that seemed almost inherent to him. This transformative process reached its apex in 2019 when he unveiled his innovative Firefly Funhouse segments and introduced his alter ego, The Fiend. This latter persona was infamous for wrestling while donning a horrifying mask and performing amidst disconcerting red lighting. Throughout his wrestling journey, Wyndham Rotunda achieved notable accolades. He secured victories that led him to clinch the WWE Championship, the WWE Universal Championship, and even 2 Tag Team Championships. These triumphs not only underscore his prowess, but also his ability to connect with audiences in diverse ways, demonstrating the multifaceted nature of his talent. Wyndham Rotunda's background was deeply rooted in wrestling. His father, Mike, achieved recognition in WWE under the name Erwin R. Schister, and also wrestled in other organizations using his real name and as Michael Wall Street. Rotunda's uncle, Barry Windham, stood out as a respected wrestler during the 1980s and early 1990s. He was part of the esteemed Four Horsemen group. Rotunda's brother, Taylor, is also involved in wrestling and has wrestled for WWE using the name Bo Dallas. In his personal life, Wyndham Rotunda was married to JoJo Offerman, a former WWE ring announcer. They had 2 children together, and he had 2 more children from a previous marriage. In terms of his wrestling achievements, he became a 2-time WWE Universal Champion and also held the WWE Championship at one point. Wyndham Rotunda's journey in WWE started in its developmental program, where he initially portrayed the character Husky Harris. However, his notable transformation occurred when he took on the role of Bray Wyatt. This new persona was that of a charismatic yet slightly unhinged leader of a cult in a swampy setting. He attracted followers with a captivating charm that had an eerie edge. His group, known as the Wyatt family, included Eric Rowan and the late Luke Harper, whose real name was Jonathan Cuber. This trio gained significant popularity within NXT, WWE's developmental brand. Their transition to the main WWE roster in 2014 was met with considerable excitement from fans and observers alike. Rotunda was known at that point as one of the most gifted performers on the roster, especially when it came to telling a story on the microphone. He started using the catchphrase, "Follow the buzzards," and the song lyrics, "He's got the whole world in his hands." During his entrances, with the arena shrouded in darkness before he appeared holding a lantern, fans would hold up their cell phone lights as his eerie music played. In 2019, Rotunda reinvented himself as the supernatural character, The Fiend, wearing a horror movie mask that was a terrifying facsimile of the clown. Bray Wyatt still existed in kid-friendly skits called Firefly Funhouse, but The Fiend, a dark alter ego, wrestled in his place. These were intricate, creative ideas that Rotunda, for the most part, came up with himself. The Fiend was polarizing as a character due to its near invulnerability in the ring, but it was an inventive leap and one of the most interesting things on WWE television at the time. Last year marked a significant turning point for Rotunda as he made a poignant return to WWE. After being released in 2021 from his role as the iconic Bray Wyatt, a character who seemed to grapple with haunting entities like the Fiend and Uncle Howdy, his reimagined storyline was still unfolding in February. However, the narrative took an abrupt pause when Rotunda vanished from the television scene due to health concerns, leaving fans and the wrestling community concerned about his well-being and the fate of his captivating story arc. His wrestling lineage was deeply interwoven with the sport. His father, Mike Rotunda, gained recognition within WWE as Erwin R. Schister, IRS, notably linked with Ted DiBiase. Similarly, his younger brother, Taylor Michael Rotunda, made his mark in WWE as Bo Dallas. There's a belief that Taylor remained under contract with the promotion and was even part of his brother's captivating Uncle Howdy persona. Expanding further on Rotunda's family ties, his wrestling heritage stretched across generations. His grandfather, Blackjack Mulligan, Robert Wyndham, and uncles, Barry Windham and Kendall Wyndham, held pivotal positions within the wrestling world and were an integral part of his life. In fact, his name was a tribute to his uncle Kendall. Rotunda's presence transformed the landscape of character portrayal, not just within WWE, but across the entire realm of professional wrestling. He embarked on his WWE journey in 2009, initially as the relatively ordinary Husky Harris. But his transformative evolution into Bray Wyatt, the eerie leader of the Wyatt family cult, resonated profoundly with fans globally, establishing him as one of the company's most celebrated superstars. A later manifestation of his character, The Fiend, a masked and malevolent entity, became a focal point of wrestling programming and led to his remarkable achievement of 2 WWE Universal Championship reigns. Tragically, Rotunda's passing now joins another sorrowful chapter in the wrestling world. Less than 3 years ago, his close friend and former Wyatt family member, Jonathan Cuber, known as Luke Harper in WWE and Brody Lee in AEW, passed away unexpectedly at the age of 41. These heartbreaking losses cast a shadow over the wrestling community, highlighting the fragility of life within the world of intense athleticism and entertainment. Bray Wyatt's unforeseen departure at the age of 36 adds another somber note to this narrative, concluding a legacy that began in 2009 and stretched until 2021 when he parted ways with the company.